All right, let's dive in. Picture this. You're looking at your new course syllabus. Maybe you're excited, maybe a little bit nervous. You're scanning past the readings, the exam dates. They feel like ages away. And then you see it, those two little words, group, project. And for so many of us, right, there's this immediate, like, sinking feeling.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. The dread is real.
And your mind just instantly goes to the highlight reel of past disasters, doesn't it?
The nightmare scenarios, we've all got them.
Exactly. Like maybe it's the slacker, you know? The one who shows up for that first meeting, seems keen, and then poof, vanishes.
Right. Gone. Until the day before it's due, maybe, with a flurry of excuses.
Or how about the over-controller? The one who means well, probably, but just kind of steamrolls everyone else's ideas.
Mm-hmm. They have their vision, and deviating is not really an option. Leaves everyone else feeling a bit pointless.
Totally stifled. And we can't forget the classic ghost, the person you're genuinely not sure even exists outside that first day.
You see their name on the list, but that's about it. Until presentation day, maybe.
Right, they just sort of materialize.
Yeah.
Ready to share the credit.
It's amazing, really.
It really is. And look, these experiences, they are frustrating, they cause anxiety, and honestly, they make you wonder why we even do group projects.
You start questioning the whole point, yeah. Feels like an exercise in frustration sometimes.
But what if?
Yeah.
What if it didn't have to be like that? What if group projects could actually be, well, good. Maybe even, dare I say it, enjoyable.
It's definitely possible, and that's really what we're digging into today. Our mission, if you will, is to unpack how you can not just, survive these things.
Just get through it.
Right, not just survive, but actually thrive. We're looking at the secrets, the strategies behind making group work actually work.
We want to transform that fear into, well, an opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the mechanics, the human side of it all, effective collaboration, smart ways to delegate work, managing those tricky group dynamics.
So the goal here is to give you the tools, the insights from our sources to handle these projects with confidence, achieve success, get the grade you want, and maybe, just maybe, do it without pulling all your hair out.
And actually learn something valuable in the process beyond just the topic itself. Skills that really matter.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So where do we start? Our sources are super clear on this. The very first meeting.
Yeah.
The kickoff.
Ah, yes, the kickoff. It sounds simple, maybe even a bit perfunctory.
Right, like just, okay, who's doing what part?
But it's so much more than that. Our sources pretty much universally say this first meeting is maybe the single most important moment for the whole project.
More important than the final presentation even.
Arguably, yes. Because this is where you set the stage. It's not just about the topic, it's about the how.
How you'll work together, how you'll communicate, how you'll handle problems when they inevitably pop up.
Exactly. It's about setting the tone, the expectations, the psychological foundation for everything else. Neglect this, and you're building on shaky ground.
Okay, so if that first meeting is so vital, what's the key activity? What makes it foundational?
The big one, the absolute must-do, according to all our research, is creating a team charter. Or you might call it a group contract.
Team charter,
Yeah.
group contract. Okay, sounds a bit formal, maybe a little corporate.
It can sound that way, yeah. Like, oh, great, more paperwork. But trust me, our sources frame this as an absolute lifesaver. It's not bureaucracy. It's your project's constitution.
A constitution. I like that. It gives it weight. So it's basically the rule book for the team.
Precisely. It defines how you operate, what everyone expects from each other, the rules of engagement. It's agreed upon by everyone up front.
Okay, that makes sense. So what absolutely has to go into this constitution, this team charter? What are the non-negotiables?
Our sources point to 3 really critical areas. Get these right, and you avoid so many future problems. First up, shared vision and goals.
Shared vision. Okay, what does that actually mean in practice? Like agreeing on the topic?
It's deeper than that. It's about having a really honest conversation right at the start about what you're actually aiming for.
Like the grade.
Exactly. Are we all shooting for an A? Does that mean everyone commits to putting in maximum effort, going the extra mile?
Or maybe a solid B is perfectly fine given everyone's other commitments.
Right. And the key here is honesty. Be upfront about the time and effort you can realistically commit. If half the team wants an A+, and the other half is happy with a pass, you've got a problem brewing right there.
That misalignment is killer. You need everyone pulling in roughly the same direction, effort-wise.
Absolutely. It sets the baseline expectation for dedication, but it's not just the grade. It's also about the ground rules.
Ground rules, like how we'll behave.
Sort of, more like operational rules. How do we handle late work? If someone misses a deadline, what happens? Is there a process, a consequence? How do we deal with it maturely?
Okay, yeah, important stuff. And what about decisions?
Crucial point. How are we making choices as a group? Is it majority rules, simple vote, move on?
Or do we need everyone to agree? Strive for consensus, even if it takes longer.
Getting that clear from day one is massive. Our sources really stress why this is so important. It prevents so much conflict later.
Because you can just point back to the charter. Hey, remember we agreed?
Exactly. It provides that objective framework. Everyone knows the rules because they helped make the rules. It builds buy-in, shared ownership, not just of the task, but the process.
It's proactive conflict prevention, essentially. Setting the stage for smooth sailing, or at least smoother sailing.
They definitely smoother. You've anticipated common problems and agreed on how to handle them.
Okay, so shared vision, goals, ground rules. That's pillar 1 for the charter. What's next?
Pillar 2 is clearly defined roles and responsibilities.
Okay. Who does what? Seems straightforward, but where do groups mess this up?
Often by just not doing it clearly, or assuming everyone will just pitch in, or that a leader will magically emerge and sort it out.
Yeah, that rarely works seamlessly.
Right. Our sources are clear. Not everyone needs to be the leader. In fact, strong groups usually have specific designated roles.
Like what kind of roles?
Well, you might have a project manager or coordinator, someone who tracks the deadlines, schedules the meetings, keeps everyone on the same page, kind of the organizer.
Makes sense. Keeps things moving.
Then maybe someone is the designated note-taker for meetings. Sounds minor, but having clear records of decisions and action items? Invaluable.
Oh, definitely. Avoids the, wait, what did we decide last time? Loop.
And critically, think about having an editor. Someone responsible for that final pass, ensuring the whole thing reads with one voice. Consistent tone, proper formatting.
The anti-Frankenstein role. Crucial for making it look like a unified piece of work.
Exactly. You might also have specific researchers, someone great at making slides, maybe a data person if needed. The key, really, is playing to strengths.
Playing to strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So assign tasks based on what people are actually good at or enjoy doing.
Precisely. Our research backs this up strongly. When you mash tasks to talents, the meticulous researcher gets the deep dive, the great writer drafts the key sections, the organized person manages the timeline. You optimize everything.
Efficiency goes up, quality goes up.
And motivation, too. People are generally happier and less stressed when they're doing something they feel competent at. It leverages the group's diverse skills instead of just, splitting tasks randomly.
And it avoids that situation where someone feels totally overwhelmed by a task they hate or someone else feels underutilized.
Right. Clear roles prevent duplication of effort and also stop things falling through the cracks because everyone thought someone else was doing it. Reduces that ambiguity.
Okay, roles and responsibilities. Playing to strengths.
Yeah.
Got it. What's the third pillar for the team charter?
This one sounds almost too basic, but our sources hammer it home, establishing communication channels.
Communication. Okay, like how often we talk.
Partly, but even more fundamentally, where do we talk? The sources insist you need to decide on one primary communication platform.
One. Like only one.
One primary one, yes. Is it going to be a WhatsApp group? A Slack channel? Good old email. Maybe a shared Google Doc for comments. Pick one main hub.
Why is that so critical? People use lots of apps.
Because information gets lost. If half the conversation is on WhatsApp, some decisions are made over email, and updates are in Slack comments. Chaos ensues.
I see. Things get missed. People are out of the loop. Finding old info becomes impossible.
Exactly. Stick to one main channel for all important updates, decisions, and questions. Ensure everyone is signed up, checking it, engaging with it.
Makes sense. And it's not just the where, is it? It's the how often.
Right. You need clear expectations around response times. Our sources often suggest a 24-hour rule as a reasonable baseline.
So everyone agrees to check messages and respond within a day.
Something like that. Agree on what's reasonable for your group. This simple step, this agreement, basically kills the, oh, sorry, I didn't see your message excuse.
The bane of group projects everywhere.
Truly. It fosters transparency, keeps momentum going, ensures information flows. No one's left guessing or waiting endlessly for a reply.
It builds that baseline level of trust and reliability in communication.
And it distinguishes between, say, needing a quick answer versus a more detailed discussion. The charter can even specify, use Slack for quick questions, schedule a Zoom call for complex problem solving.
Okay, so team charter. Shared vision and goals, clear roles and responsibilities, and defined communication channels and expectations. That feels like a really solid foundation.
It absolutely is. Get that right. And you've already solved maybe 50% of potential group project problem.
Right, you're setting yourselves up for success. Okay, so foundation laid. Now we move into the actual doing of the project, the delegation part.
Yes, and this is another area where even well-meaning groups can stumble.
How so? You got roles, maybe you got a rough idea of parts?
The key word our sources stress here is clarity. It's not enough to just divide the work. You need clarity and accountability built into the delegation itself, meaning zero ambiguity. Everyone needs to know exactly who is doing exactly what, how it fits into the bigger picture, and exactly when it's due.
No vague assignments.
No. The first step, according to the research, is to meticulously deconstruct the project. Break it down.
Break it down how small.
Into the smallest possible actionable tasks. Really granular. Think verbs.
Okay, give me an example. Not just do research.
Right. Instead, it's find 5 peer-reviewed articles on topic A published after 2020. Summarize the methodology section of Article X. Create a graph visualizing the data from Table 3.
Ah, okay. Super specific. And for writing, not just write the introduction.
No, it's draft the opening hook paragraph for the introduction, write the section defining key term Y, find 3 quotes to support point Z in the body. Proofread the conclusion for grammar errors.
Wow, that's detailed. Seems like a lot of work up front.
It is a bit, but the psychological payoff is huge. When you see a giant task like write 20-page report, it's overwhelming, paralyzing even.
Yeah, procrastination definitely kicks in.
But when you see a list of small, manageable steps, like find 3 sources or write 1 paragraph, that feels doable, achievable.
You can tick things off, feel like you're making progress.
Exactly. It reduces that overwhelm, makes progress tangible, builds momentum. Each little check mark is a mini victory. It also forces you to actually understand the project structure. If you can't break it down, you probably don't grasp it fully yet.
Okay, granular tasks. Makes sense. What's step 2 for effective delegation?
Step 2, our sources say, is basically non-negotiable in today's world. Use shared project management tools.
Like Trello, Asana, Google Docs even.
Precisely. Tools like Google Docs for collaborative writing, yes, but also things like Trello, Asana, Monday.com, or honestly, even just a well-structured shared spreadsheet in Google Sheets or Excel Online.
Why are these so indispensable?
Because they create a visual, shared, living list of every single one of those granular tasks we just talked about.
Okay, so everyone can see the whole plan.
Yes, but here's the magic ingredient. Next to every single task, you must put 2 things: a specific person's name and a firm, clear deadline.
Accountability built right in.
Absolutely. It's no longer that vague, hopeful, someone should draft the methods section sometime next week.
Right. It becomes.
Sarah is responsible for drafting the methods section due Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Visible to everyone.
No hiding.
No hiding. This transparency is incredibly powerful. It fosters what our sources call a culture of accountability, without anyone needing to be the bad guy or constantly nag.
Because the system itself shows who's responsible and if it's done.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's not personal. If a task deadline is missed, it's an objective fact visible on the board linked to a shared commitment. It allows the team to see bottlenecks instantly. Oh, Mark's task is overdue. Is he stuck? Does he need help?
So it shifts from blame to problem solving.
Precisely. It's about managing the work, the tasks, objectively not managing personalities through awkward confrontations. The tool does the reminding.
Okay, that's huge. Visual tasks, clear names, firm deadlines, all in a shared space. Powerful stuff for keeping things on track.
Game changer for many teams, reduces so much friction.
All right, so we've got the foundation with the charter. We've got the mechanics of delegation down. Now for the really tricky part, the human element.
Ah, yes. Group dynamics, conflict. The messy stuff.
Let's just state it plainly. People are complicated. Put different personalities, work styles, schedules, stress levels together. Conflict isn't just possible. It's probably going to happen, right?
It's pretty much a probability, yeah. Differing opinions, someone having a bad week, misunderstandings. It's normal human interaction amplified under project pressure.
So the goal isn't to avoid conflict entirely, because that's maybe impossible.
Right. The goal is to have strategies ready to manage it constructively when it does pop up, to deal with it gracefully, productively.
Okay, what's the first strategy our sources recommend for navigating this minefield?
One of the most effective is proactive communication for early detection.
Proactive. So, heading things off before they blow up.
Exactly. Don't let little frustrations or silent disagreements fester and build into big resentments. Create regular, low-stakes opportunities to check in.
Like how? Daily meetings. That sounds like overkill.
Doesn't have to be formal meetings. It could be a quick 5-minute stand-up at the start of a scheduled meeting. What I did yesterday, what I'm doing today, any roadblocks.
Okay, quick status update.
Or even simpler, just a daily check-in on your main communication channel. Morning team, how's everyone's progress? Anyone need anything? A quick pulse check.
Why are these small interactions so important?
Because they create a safe, normal space to voice minor concerns early. Hey, I'm a bit stuck on finding sources for X. Or, can someone clarify what we meant by Y? It stops small issues snowballing.
It builds that habit of open communication, makes it less awkward to raise a flag later if something bigger comes up.
Precisely. It fosters mutual support and keeps everyone aligned before resentments build.
Okay, proactive check-ins. Good habit. But what if conflict does erupt? Someone's clearly not pulling their weight, deadlines are being missed.
This is where you loop back to that amazing tool you created, the team charter, and the shared task list.
Use the Constitution.
How? The key is to avoid accusatory language. Don't just say, hey, you're slacking off. That immediately puts someone on the defensive.
Right, shuts down the conversation.
Instead, frame it by referencing your shared agreements and tools and offer support.
Give me an example. What would that sound like?
You could say something like, hey, Naeem, I was just looking at our Trello board and I saw the deadline for a specific task is coming up tomorrow. Just wanted to check in and see how it's going. Is there anything blocking you or anything the team can do to help you get it across the line?
Okay. That's completely different. It's non-confrontational, references the objective tool, Trello, mentions the agreed deadline, and offers help.
Exactly. Our sources call this a masterclass in conflict management. You're addressing the issue, the task isn't done, but you're doing it supportively, based on shared, objective information from your charter and tools.
It focuses on the task and the team's shared goal, not on blaming the individual.
Right. It's us versus the problem, not me versus you. Much more likely to get a positive, honest response and actual resolution. Plus, if things do escalate and you need to involve an instructor, you have a record of trying to resolve it based on agreed-upon processes.
Okay, leveraging the charter and tools for accountability with support. That's smart. What about the opposite problem? Not the slacker, but the dominator.
The person who talks over everyone, shoots down ideas, maybe takes over tasks assigned to others.
Yeah, that person. Equally disruptive in a different way.
Yeah.
How do you handle that without causing more conflict?
The sources suggest a two-pronged approach: active listening and respectful redirection.
Okay, explain that. Active listening. So, hear them out first.
Yes. Don't just cut them off, even if they're dominating. Acknowledge their contribution first. Validate that you've heard them. Something like, that's a really interesting perspective, Sarah. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay, make them feel heard. And then the redirection part.
Then, you gently but firmly open the floor to others. You could say, that's a great starting point. Let's also make sure we get input from others. Mike, Chloe, what are your thoughts on this? Do you see it differently or have other ideas to add?
So you acknowledge their point, but then deliberately pass the talking stick, so to speak.
Exactly. It validates the contributor while ensuring other voices get heard. It encourages balance without making the dominant person feel attacked or shut down.
That's skillful. It respects everyone involved and aims for a richer discussion by getting more perspectives.
And often, the more introverted members need that explicit invitation to jump in. This technique provides it. It ensures you're leveraging the whole team's brain power, not just the loudest person's.
Okay, managing dynamics through proactive communication, using the charter for accountability, and employing active listening with respectful redirection. Seems like a solid toolkit.
It covers a lot of the common interpersonal challenges, definitely.
Right, so fast forward. The work is mostly done. Research gathered, sections drafted, tasks are getting checked off on Trello. We're basically finished, right? Just need to staple it together.
Whoa, hold on. Not so fast. Our sources are very clear. You are not finished yet. This next phase, integration, is absolutely critical.
Integration, isn't that just putting the pieces together?
It's much more than just stitching sections together. If you just do that, you almost always end up with what one source called a disjointed Frankenstein's monster of a project.
Okay, I know that feeling. Sections that don't flow, different tones of voice, repeated information.
Exactly. It feels fragmented, cobbled together. Even if the individual parts are good, the whole is less than the sum of its parts. Integration is where you make it cohesive, consistent, unified.
So how do we do that effectively? What does this integration phase look like?
You need to schedule a specific session just for integration. It's not an afterthought, it's a dedicated work block.
Okay, dedicated time. What do we do in that session?
The single most recommended activity. Read the entire project draft out loud, together as a group.
Read it aloud. The whole thing seems tedious.
It might feel a bit awkward at first, but it's incredibly effective. Your ears will catch things your eyes miss when reading silently.
Like what?
Awkward phrasing, clinky transitions between sections, repetitive sentences or ideas, inconsistencies in tone or terminology, logical gaps you didn't notice before.
Ah, okay. Hearing it forces you to experience it as a listener or reader would. You notice where it flows well and where it stumbles.
Precisely. You're asking yourselves, does this make sense? Is the argument clear? Is the voice consistent? It helps you smooth out all those rough edges.
Okay, reading aloud together. Powerful technique. What else happens during integration? Is this when we give feedback on each other's parts?
Absolutely. This is the prime time for constructive peer review, and how you give that feedback matters immensely.
Right. Don't want to start fights just before the finish line.
Exactly. Our sources strongly recommend the sandwich method for feedback.
The sandwich method. Okay, what's that? Compliment, criticism, compliment.
Pretty much. Start with something genuinely positive about the section or contribution. Then, offer the specific constructive critique or suggestion for improvement. And finally, end with another positive or encouraging remark.
Can you give an example? Instead of just saying, this part is confusing.
Sure. Instead of that blunt, unhelpful comment, you'd sandwich it. Hey, I really appreciate the detailed research you pulled together for this section. The examples are great. Positive. I found this particular paragraph explaining the mechanism a little hard to follow. Maybe we could rephrase this sentence or add a definition to make it even clearer. Critique suggestion. But overall, this section adds really strong evidence to our argument positive.
Okay, yeah, that lands totally differently. The person hears the praise, the critique is specific and framed as improvement, and it ends on an up note.
It's all about the delivery. This makes the feedback feel supportive, helpful, and respectful. It makes the recipient much more open to actually using the feedback to improve the work rather than getting defensive.
And that improves the final product and keeps the team vibe positive. Win-win.
Absolutely. It's a crucial skill for collaboration, well beyond just group projects.
Okay, so we've journeyed from the initial dread to, hopefully, a finished, polished, well-integrated project. Let's quickly recap the absolute essentials we've covered. The core thriving strategies.
Sounds good. Let's boil it down.
First, start strong with that team charter, your constitution. Define goals, roles, rules, communication up front. Non-negotiable.
Pillar 1, foundation set.
Second, delegate with precision and accountability. Break work into tiny tasks. Use a shared digital tool like Trello. Assign every task to one person with one deadline. Make it visible.
Pillar 2, clarity and accountability engine.
Third, manage dynamics proactively and constructively. Use regular check-ins. When conflict arises, use the charter and objective data. Offer support, not blame. Handle dominance with active listening and respectful redirection.
Pillar 3, navigating the human element gracefully.
And fourth, integrate deliberately. Don't just assemble. Schedule time to read it aloud together. Give feedback using the sandwich method. Polish it into a cohesive whole.
Pillar 4, the final polish for quality.
Get those 4 pillars right, and you're in a vastly better position.
Absolutely. But maybe we can zoom out for a second, too. Think about the bigger picture here.
Go for it. What's the meta lesson?
These group projects, as much as we might dread them sometimes, are basically real-world training simulators.
How so?
The skills you're forced to practice, collaboration, communication, project management, dealing with difficult people, giving feedback, resolving conflict, meeting deadlines under pressure. These are exactly the skills employers are crying out for.
They're not just academic hoops to jump through.
Not at all. They're a microcosm of professional life. Learning how to navigate a team effectively, contribute productively, manage your time and responsibilities within a group context, these are incredibly valuable, transferable skills. What we've talked about today isn't just about getting a better grade.
It's about becoming a better teammate, a better future employee or leader.
Precisely. You're building fundamental competencies that will serve you your entire career. These aren't soft skills, they're essential skills.
That's a really powerful way to reframe it. So maybe a final thought to leave our listeners with?
Well, building on that,
Yeah.
next time you see group project on that syllabus or you get assigned to a team at work, take a breath. Instead of that instant groan, try seeing it differently.
As an opportunity.
Exactly, an opportunity to deliberately practice these vital skills we've discussed, to maybe try out a leadership role, even informally, to figure out how to work better with different personality types.
An opportunity to build your collaboration muscle,
Yeah.
essentially.
And maybe, just maybe, an opportunity to actually connect with people, build some camaraderie, navigate a challenge together. How does shifting your mindset from chore to opportunity change how you might approach that next group project? It might just transform the entire experience.
From dreaded task to valuable growth exercise. Something to definitely think about.